Hello, everyone. It's Debra Kasowski, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 different tips on how to help you stop looking backward into that rearview mirror and focusing forward to where your dreams and goals exist. Well, let's dive right in. You know, when we think about the rearview mirror, it's this small little window of light where you are looking in the rearview mirror and you're looking behind you. And then we have the big windshield in front of us that shows us the world in front of us. But here's the thing that I've noticed. When people are caught up in their past experiences, it's almost like a nostalgia takes over. They connect with all the feels that they've experienced in the past, and the past is often triggered by regrets. There's one thing to look at your past with fond memories and things that worked out really well. But often when people are stuck, they're dwelling in past experiences that they haven't moved forward from. And one of the things with that is that regret keeps us stuck because people are rewinding scenarios, playing over and over. What could have been done differently? Who's responsible? Who's at fault? Let's see where we can poke the blame. And then we're pointing at all these other people, and you realize you got 3 other fingers pointing back at you to take your own responsibility for your own life. And the only way to do that is letting go of some of those past mistakes, wrongdoings, because people can berate themselves for years for past experiences, past grudges, conversations. We can't rewind and change what happened. What can we do in this present moment is where we need to be. We need to be focused on the present, because anxiety often comes from looking toward the future, too far into the future, getting caught up in the uncertainty and all the what ifs. Well, guess what? Let's forget the what ifs. Let's forget about the shoulds, that I should have done this, I could have done this. Quit shoulding on yourself and change the conversation. Remove that word from your vocabulary, because if you would have, it would have been done. But it didn't work out that way. So what you're supposed to do is acknowledge the lessons that you have learned. Have the awareness that this lesson occurred, and what are you going to take? What's the gift you're going to take out of the lesson to either integrate it into your life or take different actions in the future? You see, the past that we were so worried about in the past, that regrets and thinking, replaying things, that was a future at one point, that uncertainty. But when we get caught up in past experiences, thinking about we should have, could have, and would have, and we didn't, we get ourselves stuck in a pattern of behavior that does not allow us to move forward. So I'm here today to really talk about how we take that acknowledgement, how we take that awareness and move into a new action, to really move away from the small vision to the broader view of what's possible. When we start becoming mindful of the present, we start paying attention to the actions that we need to take to move forward. So one of the things that you can do is forgive forward. So for all those things that you've been beating yourself up over, I want you to forgive yourself. If you knew better, you would do better. And the lesson occurred so that you could learn the lesson and move forward. So I'm super jazzed that if you are listening and watching this, knowing that there is something that you need to let go of that is not helping you move forward, ask yourself this question. Can I look at this situation in a different frame, a different light? How many perspectives can I gain? What assumptions am I making? Forgive yourself, for if you knew better, you would have done better. Forgive forward. That's number 1. Number 2 is focus forward. Sometimes we need to put the blinders on to those past experiences or the influences of others of saying, remember when you did this, or when we did this in the past, it didn't work. Well, guess what? The past is behind us. So let's leave the past there. And, you know, when we move forward, instead of playing rewind or fast forward, We're allowing ourselves to be present and mindful in the moment. So focus forward. What is possible right now for me? What actions could I take to move me closer to my goals, my dreams, and take those steps forward? When we start taking the steps necessary to move forward, we create a momentum. And from that momentum, we get energized, we get enthusiastic, and we start taking the other actions that are necessary. And we move through with a lot more grace and ease than if we had the resistance of focusing on our past experiences of where we may have failed. Which takes me to number 3. Number 3 is failing forward. I want you to take those experiences and take those lessons and fail forward faster. So when we move forward, we can look at experiences instead of berating ourselves, you should have done this, you should have done that. How do I want to show up in the future if a similar situation occurs? So instead of beating yourself up, failing forward allows us to look at what are the lessons that I'm taking away. As I focus forward, as I forgive myself for past trespasses or transgressions, that I will really focus in on what it is I can take from these lessons and integrate them into who I am and how I plan to show up in the future. Thomas Edison failed it took 10,000 tries to make the light bulb, right? So he failed many times, but it didn't stop him from tweaking and, changing up the way he performed. Same thing can go for us. We just have to be open, be aware, acknowledge that things didn't go as well, accept where we're at, not resign. We're accepting where we're at this moment. And then we're being mindful of what are the actions that we can take moving forward. Who do I need to connect with? What are the resources available to me? What are the possibilities? Who are the people around me who can support me or direct me to where I need to go next? You're not alone on this journey. This journey forward is about feeling through those experiences and experiencing them and figuring out what actions that you will take moving forward. When everything's perfect, how much are you learning other than you got it all figured out? It's often when we have these mistakes or wrongdoings or learnings that come up in our lives is where we have our greatest growth. You want to be open to the experience, allow things to unfold, knowing that you can take a new action every single day. And if you've had a bad day, know that tomorrow's a new day for new actions, new ways to forgive yourself, to focus forward, and to fail forward quickly so that you can integrate the lessons that you're learning. So stop looking in the rearview mirror, because you can't accelerate forward when you're looking backwards. If you do, there's going to be a lot of damage ahead of you. So keep the broad perspective all in front of you. Look back only when you need to, and move forward with grace and ease as you start getting closer and closer, journeying forward toward those goals, those dreams in your life, your leadership, and your business. I would love for you to go over to my website at www.debrakasowski, that's with an S.com. That's DebraKasowski. I would love for you to go over to my website. You'll get your Reset Your Mindset 10-page PDF to help you get on track with that mindset whenever you feel off track, to really get focused on staying in a place of growth, learning, and seizing the day. I would love for you to share this podcast if it resonates with you, this video. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And as always, go out and make today great.